Years ago I cut a hoe down. This was a regular hoe. And I cut it down and I bent it in a vise. And this is what I used to open my rows up with. And I've already pulled it down through those 4. I'm going to put 3 different kinds of cucumbers in these 3 10-foot sections. And I try to take a rake and flatten it out and get any big leaf off of it, because if a big leaf's there when it comes up, it might not get enough sunlight to set its roots. But all you have to do is put that in the ground. It's a little harder to do with one hand as it hits stuff. Normally speaking, you can make one pass. I'm doing it left-handed, which is a mistake on my part. I'll switch sides. We'll see how it works with my right hand. I just sit it there and pull it along beside me, fairly close to the fence, because I want them to grow up on the fence. That's the only way to grow cucumbers. And I've already done a row there. I haven't planted anything yet. But usually if you have fairly decent soil, you can just make your row. Then I come back drop the seeds in there, and I come back with a rake and cover it up. And if you get a little place where it's a little lump in it, just go back over it. So that will give me 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet of cukes. Well, I just got to get something in the ground. It's 23rd of May on a Friday. You'll notice some of my videos working on my garden that I do work every other day so I can rest the other days. I'm going to put in a Calypso pickling cucumber. It's a hybrid, and I discovered that about 5 or 6 years ago, and I absolutely love them. And Market More has been around for a long time. It is a great cucumber. There's a lot of different numbers, and that's the year that they came out with it. And you'll find Market More listed under probably 6 or 7 different numbers. We use Market More 76 because we always have. And Bobby at MHP Gardener has been growing these divas for the last couple of years, and so I got me some seeds because I like the looks of them, and he said they taste good, so that was enough for me. And to plant the seeds, I'm still working. Susan, if I'm still working, she came up with the idea a couple of years ago of a funnel held on with 200-mile-an-hour tape. That's a secret to call it that. And a pipe. And you just drop the seeds in it as you walk down the row. And all I did is put a little cup on it to hold the seeds. Cucumber seeds are fairly small, but if you had beans, corn, they're a lot bigger. But I find it's easier to have the seeds in there, and then when I'm finished, I can just dump the seeds back into the package through the corner. But that's what I'll use to plant them with, and it does work. And the odd thing about it is when you put it in there, it does take a second or more for it to get to the ground, which I found unusual, because I would drop the seed and be moving it, and it would fall out. So you do have to wait just a momentary second. But it's a lot better than bending over, and you get them right where you want them. It's a good idea that she came up with. And I don't know whether it was last year or the year before, but I used this last year and just put it in the shed, and it's ready to go this year. Nothing beats 200-mile-an-hour tape. Well, 10 minutes later, I got all the seeds planted, and all I do is drag the backside of a rake. A little bit of an angle, about 45 degrees. Depends on how much soil you got laying on which side of the row. And another big secret after you do that is you need to tamp the soil down to make the seed come in contact with the soil. Helps for them to germinate. So you can push it over, or you can drag it sideways. be sure to tamp them down. It doesn't take long. But it makes the seed have contact with the soil, and then when you well water it in, and it sends out a sprout, because they sprout pretty quick. It's got something to grab a hold of. Well, slowly but surely the garden's coming together on Friday the 23rd. Since my bride has to work tomorrow, I'm going back home. And the onions are thickening up. I got most all the weeds out. There's about 2% left. And they're starting to thicken up. And once they bulb up and start moving the soil out of the way, you shouldn't fertilize them anymore. And when they bulb up, it takes 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 4. And you should hold back on the watering, and it'll make them sweeter. But they're fairly clear. There's a couple little weeds around that, and I left this little patch for my bride to do when she gets down here. And today I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 more bags. One of my viewers asked, what did I do with this stuff? Well, I turned it upside down. Most of the bags don't have a hole in the top, and I'm letting soil energy kill the weeds, because there's a fair amount of soil. I would say 1/3 to half of those bags is full of soil attached to the roots, and I just soon I throw away that much soil. So once the sun bakes it long enough, I can lay it on the top of the compost pile, and as I dump it out, if I see any crabgrass that's white, I will pick that out, because there's a few bags that's got a few pieces in it, and I don't want any crabgrass in my compost.